path on my way back up by Craig. We were up there yesterday with the grandkids, did some turkey and deer scouting, checked the sap in the buckets, and came home so they'd be home for the weekend. So now I'm heading back up. Got to cut and trim those trees that we took down for that food plot this weekend. Help boil off what little sap there is. Had a good time with the grandkids, now going up to do some work. See you up there. As we are now into April, and I'm only 4 weeks away from my turkey hunt, a sense of urgency is setting in. We've got to get that food plot cleaned up prior to my turkey hunt. I can't be making a lot of noise in the woods a week or two before my turkey hunt. So other than getting in by my brother-in-law, exchanging a few greetings, hi, Kevin and I get out on that food plot to start cleaning that up as soon as we can.
You want me to run back and grab that bar?
Yeah, why don't you? Just think it'll be easier. This is where I can cut halfway through, we can roll it, and I can cut the other way.
Yeah. Alright, you know what, I'll just walk back there. My camera's going, so...
Alright. Kevin's turn to haul the wood. We've been knocking down this pile, trying to stack all this wood. We got 1, 2, 3 trees cut up, plus the pile from before. So Kevin's turn. And I'll walk out and we'll meet him where we're gonna go stack the lumber. Let's go stack wood.
Yep.
Okay, going back for another load. So as we're cutting the trees, we're cutting them into like 16-inch lengths. Perfect length for splitting. And if they don't need to be split and they're dry. Some of them are small enough just to burn as is. So another load. All right, it's 20 minutes to 2, break time. Kevin came out and helped me. You can see we got everything cut up here, the logs that we're laying. So we're just picking up the last of the logs. It's a 5-minute break time. I'm gonna go get a drink of water. I am thirsty. And some quick energy with a couple of Tootsie Rolls. Okay, the trees that were cut and trimmed from 2 weeks ago are now cut, hauled out of here and stacked, and it's time for a lunch break. There you go, you can see the 2 stacks. So we got one there, another one there. So we got them stacked along the trail to age. Time to head in for lunch, and then I'll come out, and 4 trees left to go. Well, it's 4:30. And been out here for an hour by myself working on this one tree. We got her all cut up. That was a tree laying down. We got her all topped off. We threw that into the brush pile over there, and we got her all cut up. Already put some in the wagon. So we're going to clean this up and stack wood and move on to the next tree. I hope this food plot's worth it. I hope everything works out. 6:45. I wasn't gonna let that damn tree beat me here. We cleaned up the other one that was down and got that one stacked. And I went in here, started trimming off the top of the tree, topping it off, and I got my chainsaw wedged. And I'll be damned if that tree was gonna beat me. It took me about an hour to try to wedge that tree up. So I would open up the cut so I could get the chainsaw out. When I got the chainsaw out, the blade was loose. So I had to take the chainsaw apart, fix that. So I had about an hour of downtime. So I would have finished this tree in plenty of time. Now I'm pushing daylight. But I'll be damned if I'm gonna let it beat me. I'm gonna finish stacking these in the trailer, take them on the trail and stack them, and then call it a night. By the way, I had to use this as a wedge and Craig's tree wedge to get that tree up high enough so I could get the blade out. So thank goodness when we cut it down, this split the way it did. That's it. The west end, the trees are topped, cut, and they're going to be stacked. This is the last load. I didn't let that tree beat me. Did it all by myself. So I didn't have any trouble going to sleep that night. In fact, when I got back, I ate supper and went to bed. I couldn't even go outside to help him with the maple syrup. In fact, I was so tired, I don't even remember what I ate for supper. Next morning, it's going to be back out in the woods. I got another tree to work on. All right, it's Sunday morning, 8 o'clock. We're out at the food plot, going to finish up As you can see behind me here, we've opened up quite a bit of this. I finished, we had 3 trees right in front here. Kevin helped me yesterday, and we got those cut up and hauled out and stacked. And I came back in the afternoon, and the 2 trees on the far end, on the west end of the food plot, I topped those off. And here comes Chance. He found me out here. I left him in the house. I came out here. Here he comes. Anyways, we've got out there on the west end of the food plot, I topped the trees, cut them, stacked them. That's all cleaned up. So all we got left are these 2 right here in the background here. I just got to take care of these 2 this morning, and all the trees will be down. Then it's a matter of coming in here cleaning up. Then we'll do a acidity check out the soil content, see what we got to do, if we got to put down any type of soil enhancers before we plant. And then it's a matter of cultivating it, getting the seeds down and getting her planted. Hopefully the hard work is done after a couple hours today on these 2 trees right here. So time to have at it, get it over with. All right, it's 10 to 10, and we're down to this 1 tree. We got it all topped off and dropped, and second tree is all cut up, and it's loaded. So all that's left, I have to rotate this tree up. We got a big limb coming out here. So I can't roll it this way, so we're going to roll it back this way, and that should lift stuff off the ground to start trimming to the point where I should be able to lift it to put logs or whatever underneath it so I can finish cutting her up. But we're going to go stack logs now from what we did so far. Well, 10:30. Chainsaw is silent. I'm finally done cutting. So this is all that's left. Just got to load this up into here with this. And if you look, all the trees are cut and stacked. Our pinch points are done. Oh, one thing I want to show you here. When I was clearing out this brush here, topping off the trees that I'm cutting up now that fell into that, we've got buds on these again. So I don't know if you can see them. There you go. So I put these in backwards because we did have deer in here. The other ones that I put in, the deer came in and ate them all off. So I got all the buds on the branches kind of sticking out here on the front for the deer to come in and feed also. So it worked last time. I don't see why it won't work again to draw them in. So like I said, food plot is clear, as you can see back here. Just pick up a little bit of this, and that's it for this weekend. All right, 10 to 11. I just stacked the last of the wood. You can see one of the piles right here. And all that's left is to head back in the woods by the food plot area and pick up all the tools. Head back in. Craig left a couple of brats for me to eat for lunch, so I'm going to have a couple of brats for lunch. Pack everything up and head home. The weekend's done. Anyways, here's the wood piles. There's one of them. And just for a reference, I'm going to stand by one so you get an idea. You can get an idea how tall this is. It's a good 4-foot wood pile. So these are the trees that we took down in the food plot area. And then here's some, this was the bigger one. And here's a better perspective maybe. There we go. We'll let these all season and split them, and we'll have firewood in a year or 2. was work, work, work for me the entire time up here. I was too busy out on that food plot the entire time, was never able to lend a hand on the maple syrup operation. With my turkey hunt being 4 weeks away, time is becoming of the essence. Besides having to finish up the food plot, I still have to prep for my turkey hunt. So I was unable to do anything with those guys as far as maple syrup. That's why you didn't see anything on the video. All you're seeing is me do all the work out in the woods. From looking at the stack of jars after everybody pulled out, it looks like we got about 1 gallon to 1.75 gallons roughly of maple syrup for the week. So it looks like we might be starting to wind down a little bit. We've been producing, I think last week we did 2.5 gallons and maybe 2 gallons a week before that. Now it looks like maybe 1 gallon, 1.5 gallons area. Not sure if the guys took some of the jars with them or not. So it's tough to know the exact count. We've got jars from last week, this week. So, but just from what I knew, what was available with the sap, and from seeing the amount of jars on the kitchen table here that were poured, my guess is about 1.5 gallons. Let's just call it 1.5 gallons. So that's about all we got of maple syrup this week, about 1.5 gallons. But got a lot of work done out in the food plot. Hi, that's the end of part 3 of this week's 3-part episode. I hope you enjoyed all of them. We took the kids steelhead fishing. They enjoyed themselves a 1.5 days on the river and down by the mouth of the river on Lake Michigan. The next day in the afternoon, we drove up north to do some turkey scouting. Spent Friday turkey scouting with the kids. Drove home Friday night so I could get the kids home for their commitments on the weekend. And I turned around again Saturday morning and headed right back up. If you enjoyed this episode, please go ahead and click on that like button. Then, if you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Then you'll get notified and you won't miss each new episode as it gets released. I'd appreciate your input. You can comment down below, or you can drop us a line at rapantoutdoors360@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video.